right, hello everybody. Let's get ready to get started. Hello. Reenergize. Wrong. Academy. Hello, everybody. Hello. I'm so glad that you're here. All right, so before we get started, I want to know if you all have gotten value the last 2 days. Have you gotten value from this session? Have you learned anything? Have you decided what you're going to do for 2022? Talk to me. Tell me if you're getting any value, if this has been helpful in your business. Let me know. We're going to get started in about a minute. So hopefully everybody can hear me. So, has this information been helpful to you in your business? Are you going to use this in your business? Have you gotten value from these sessions? Has it been helpful to get you in the right frame of mind for what you need to do for 2022? Has it actually spurred any new creativity within you? Made you go, okay, I didn't think about that before, but now I have this amazing idea. So let me know. We're going to get started in about 2 minutes. Okay, let's get started. This is where I would normally play Let's Get It Started in here. By the Black Eyed Peas, one of my favorite videos. It's highly motivational. All right. I had to walk fast down the hallway just for a second. I'm a little winded. Give me just a second to catch my breath. Pour a little bit of water. You want to get your notebook and pen or notepad. So start game planning your 2022, or get your notebook from the previous 2 sessions. Go from there. So hello, this is Nicole Whitlock with eCom Sellers Academy. This is our 2022 eCom planning session, our annual planning session that we do every single year. And I am glad that you're here. Let's see what kind of difference we can make in our businesses in 2022. Let's see if we can reset everything so that in 2022, we get the results we've been wanting to get for the last year, 2 years, 3 years, 6 months, whatever it happens to be. So session 1, we talked about reset and we talked about mindset and how we look at ourselves, how we look at our business, what's happening in our own lives. In session 2, we worked on refocus, actually setting priorities, trying to get organized in our business, trying to establish the things that are going to actually help us to gain some consistency in our business and also gain some momentum in our business. Today, we're going to be talking about re-energizing. What are some of the things you can be doing to build and scale your business? So before we get into that, What we didn't cover in session 2, so I got to cover it real quick, is what's a goal? So there are several different types of goals. And the one thing I do want to encourage you to do is to actually, we've already been talking about establishing goals, and that is extremely important that you do. But there are different types of goals that you need to establish. So you may have a process goal where you have an objective to list for 2 hours every single day after dinner. So that, you can call that a time blocking goal, which it really is. And in that window, this is something you can control. You can control whether or not you do or don't list for 2 hours after dinner. Okay, you can control that. Whether or not you're focused enough or whatever happens, if there's something outside of your control from a family standpoint, but whether or not you actually engage in that activity, you can control that. Performance goals, you're shooting for something that's based on a personal standard, something that you're intentionally sort of trying to measure, but it is something you can control. So creating 100 listings, if you say you're going to list for 2 hours, and maybe you have a goal for 2 hours every single day for 7 days, and my goal is to create 100 listings. If that's your goal, you can control that goal. You can work towards the 100 listings and you can achieve that. As long as you have the inventory to create 100 listings, you can achieve that. Outcome goals, you don't always control those. So if you're aiming to reach $5,000 in sales, it's going to require persistence, perseverance, and consistency to get to that $5,000 in sales. It's not like, okay, I'm going to create 100 listings in 7 days, or I'm going to list every single day. I'm going to list on Mondays for 2 hours after dinner. That is something that is specific to those days, and they have a finite end. Whereas an outcome goal, it may take you a month to get to that number. It may take you 2 months. It may take you whatever. But just know that when you're establishing your goals, that there's, there are different types of goals. There's measurable goals. These are goals that identify, you're measuring what's going to happen in your business. So they identify exactly what it is that you want to see, feel, or hear when you reach that goal. So what is it you're measuring, trying to measure towards a goal? So a measurement goal, you could say that an outcome goal and a measurement goal, there's some relationship there because you're trying to get to a specific place or number. And you know that once you get there, you're going to be extremely excited that you actually achieve that goal. And I want to encourage you, as you're thinking about the goals that you are going to set in your business, that you create SMART goals. We've all heard this term, SMART goals. Has been around for years, something that is specific to your business, something that you can actually measure that goal, whether or not you achieve it or not, something that is attainable, something that's realistic for you, for your life, for your lifestyle. Don't set goals that are not necessarily attainable. That's just going to frustrate you and you're just going to stop doing this business. Something that is relevant. So attainable and relevant, I'll give you an example. Saying that you're going to work 2 hours a day, 7 days a week for 2 weeks, and I want to reach $1 million. That is not attainable, nor is it realistic, because relevant can also be considered realistic. It's not. So make sure that it's relevant to your objective and your business. You should have relevant goals for each one of your business strategies. And then time-based. There's a window in which you're going to do it. So since this is 2022, you can say, by the end of the year, by December 31st, this is what I want to have happen in my business. So as you're thinking about your goals, make sure you keep all of that in mind. Now your plan. What is a plan? So there's 2 different definitions for a plan, and they're both nouns. To a detailed proposal for doing or achieving something, and an intention or decision about what you're going to do. I love the word intention. Intention means on purpose. Like on purpose, I'm going to do these things. So in your business, I've already said, make sure that you're intentional with your time, your money, and your resources. So important, along with being consistent. So you need to create a plan that is intentional. What is it that I want to achieve in my business? What are the goals I want to set? You want to outline them in a roadmap. Maybe you're going to get to a certain place in your business by a certain period of time. Maybe you have a vision for growth for your business. Right now, you might be doing retail arbitrage and you have a goal or a vision for your business to step into private label And so that may be part of your business plan, your vision for the future for your business. So you need to incorporate that, because again, one of the things that goes into a business plan is also your funding. You're going to have a funding request. So you need to make sure that your business plan includes your marketing, your financial, your operational goals, aspirations, plans, all of that stuff goes into that plan. Okay. So recap from Reset and Refocus. The first thing I recommended in session 1, which was the reset, which is to complete your year-end review. Analyze how you feel and mentally prepare for change. All of us should be trying to grow every single year. We should be trying to become better versions of ourselves. The only person we're competing with is ourselves. So again, keep that in mind on this journey. But you really should do a year-end assessment. And that was the very first thing that we covered, was kind of going through and, doing that year-end review. What did you like about last year? What did you achieve? What did you not achieve? What do you want to change? All of those things. How do you feel about last year? And embracing all of everything that you can't change anymore, because it is in the past. I think of it like, there was somebody gave me a great analogy, and we were talking about some scriptures, but an hourglass. Everything that is above and the top part of the hourglass, you can impact. Once it's in the bottom part of the hourglass, you can no longer change it. There's nothing you can do about it. You can turn it upside down, but that's not going to change. It's already happened. It's in the past. Embrace it, forgive yourself, whatever happened, and move on. Whether it be personal, whether it be business, whether it be professional, just you have to embrace it and move on. And unfortunately, sometimes that includes loss. And I do mean loss of people you love. Not saying move on, but just, they'll always be in our minds. So me and my business partners today, we were saying how much we miss Norman. He will always be on our minds. Norman Ellsworth, who passed away last February. And so again, just part of this journey that we happen to be on. So document your 7 whys and whats. You're like, what are the 7 whys and whats? We're going to come back and look at those screenshots. So there were 7 whys and whats. I encourage you to write them down or take a screenshot. So hopefully you did. If not, I'm going to email those as well. But we can go back and look at those in just a second. Make sure you take the DISC assessment and the Strength Finders assessment, and then review the results. That may help you on your journey to flushing out your business plan and your strategies for 2022 and making some adjustments or changes or growing in your business, growing spiritually, growing professionally, growing emotionally, growing mentally. It may actually help you along this journey. Write out your vision for your business for 2022 and beyond. What do you see for your business in the next 12 months? What do you see for your business in the next 3 years? What do you see for your business in the next 5 years, 7 years, and 10 years? What do you see? Okay, what do you want to see happen? Where do you want to be? Do you still want to be doing this? So write out your vision. Write out your 14 realities. So the 14 realities were part of the journey for the refocus. So before we get to that, let's go back and do the reset, or just look at this real quick. I'm going to go back in the reset. Oh, there's my little buddies. Okay, so year-end review. Whoops. Hold on. My mouse, me and my mouse. So your year-end review, what went well? What do you want to change? What do you want to stop doing? What did you want to start doing? What made you happy or smile? You can write down what made you sad if you want to, but definitely do an assessment for the year-end and really kind of process that. So, it's always interesting to come back and look at it at the end of the year. These are the things that happened in 2021. There's a lot of stuff that's happened in the last 24 months. Then the next one is your why. What is truly your why? Why did you get into this business? What do you like about it? What do you not like about it? What keeps you motivated? Your whole why. Why are you doing this? Is it that you have an idea that's inside of you, that there's an invention and you were really wanting to invent it, bring it to the market, and e-commerce is a way to get started and understand all all the channels, the sales channels, supply chain channels, and all that. That's fine. But again, what is your why? Why are you doing this? What motivates you? And what would happen if you couldn't do this anymore? I mean, maybe it's not relevant. So think about why you got into this business. Why do you stay in this business? Why do you stay in it? What do you like about it? What you don't like about it? And what keeps you motivated? And then what do you want to, or who must, if your motivation is money, that's one thing. I mean, just purely money, nothing else. So again, I talked about the fact that it means you're probably going to chase after the next shiny object. Or is it something else? So if it's something else, who must you be as a seller? Who must you be as a business owner? Who must you be as an entrepreneur? And what must you do as that entrepreneur, as a seller, so that you can have whatever it is that is part of your why journey? Then we have all those awesome pictures of my kids. These were the 2 assessments. So again, I will send them to you, but I encourage you to take them. Strength Finders, which is Clifton Strengths, and the DISC assessment. Kind of talk through that for a little bit. And I also encourage you to create a vision board for yourself, for your business. You can create multiple vision boards, but create a vision board for your business so that you're ready to go. All right, so then the next thing, sorry, I'm fly through this a little bit. Okay, so the next one was your 14 realities. There's a lot about what we think we're doing in our business because we are not being honest with ourselves and what's really happening in our business. Create your business plan, develop your 10 strategies and plans for your business, define your 2022 goals. We talked a lot about goals. Determine your time management strategy. What's going to be your time management strategy? I gave you a lot of different things. I gave you mini habits, which is also mini goals. I gave you time blocking. I gave you habit stacking. There's so many different strategies you can use. And those are, I think, for me, those are my personal ones that I think have made the most difference in my business and also in my life. I can incorporate them into my life easily. So if they work for you, that's great. But maybe you Google and you decide that there's other strategies you want to look into. I told you need to build a real work schedule and you need to test drive it and tweak it. But then you need to settle into it, just embrace it, put it on, walk around in it for a while and see how it works out. So give it at least 90 days. When people try things, I'm going to try it for 2 weeks and 3 weeks and all this other stuff. That's not how this, in e-commerce, you are not going to see a drastic difference in your business in 2 weeks. You're not going to see a drastic difference in your business in 1 month. You have to give it enough time to go through different sales cycles and allow it enough time for things to sell and for you to get some momentum around consistency. In 90 days, really 6 months is better, but 90 days is a good starting point, okay? It's kind of like weight loss. Like you see, maybe you lost a pound every week or whatever, but to see what you look like 90 days from now, that it becomes more noticeable. Because initially it's not as noticeable if you only lose a pound a week. But at the end of 90 days, you see a big difference. And at the end of 6 months, you see an even bigger difference if you maintain losing that 1 pound a week. So it's the same concept. And then review and implement your desired tax, the desired tips and strategies that I recommended. Also, we're going to be sending you a video from the Home Biz Tax Lady to help you with some of your tax strategies for 2022. And then in addition to that, review and implement your desired financial tips. That's going to be coming from, there were some that I already gave you, but you're also going to get a video from Hayes Financial Group. It's going to come from Delshawn Hayes. So here's the deal. The biggest thing about the financial tips is that we recommend is you create a budget. Create a budget, create a budget, create a budget, create a budget, create a budget. You need to create a budget. You really do. So if you don't do anything else, at least create a budget for 2022. That is something you should do. And as I said before, be intentional with your time, money, and resources. So we're going to go back to the realities real quick, and then we're going to move forward and get through the rest of this. So your realities, there's a whole bunch of questions on this page. This is where we have dreams versus reality. What is stopping you? What's getting in your way? What's distracting you? How many hours are you committing to your business each week? How many hours are you committing to your business in a day? What's your most productive time a day? How many hours are you planning to work in your business on a daily and weekly basis? versus what you're willing to commit. Okay. So what's your plan versus, you could commit this, but you're willing to do this. What's your budget? We talked about that just a second ago. What are your sales and profit goals? You should have established sales and profit goals on a weekly basis, on a weekly and on a monthly basis. And you should be tracking that to see where you are on this journey. How many new listings per day, per week, per month? What is your monthly goal around listings? Did you even ever have one? Or you don't have one at all? Okay. And then what is your goal, hours, budgets, all of this stuff around your business and your business operations. So come back to this list of questions so that you can determine, what's really going on in your business. This is definitely a peel the onion kind of situation because it's going to reveal to you what you are or are not doing in your business. Develop a business plan. I encourage you to do that for two reasons. One, you should have a plan for your business, because if you sit down and you say what your vision is for your business for the next year, 3 years, 5 years, 7 years, and 10 years, if you have a vision for your business, then you need to develop a business plan so that you have a roadmap to get there. Develop a business plan so you have a roadmap to get there. So definitely work on your business plan for your business. Even if it is, I'm going to continue to do retail arbitrage, or I'm going to continue to do thrifting, because there are people that are making a lot of money doing thrifting and flipping. There's a lot of people making a lot of money doing print on demand, a lot of people making a lot of money on private label. So whatever method of e-commerce, if you love that method, what are your goals? And they can just be a level of goals that are just around consistency, but you should have a plan for your business. Okay. And I also want you to be thinking about contingency planning, because 2021 was a year for me to actually have a wake-up call around contingency planning. I did not have a plan for my business when I was in the hospital. I mean, I had a plan for my business, but I had no contingency plan for my business. And so everything came to a grinding halt very quickly. And kickstarting an engine that's going is really hard. Let me just tell you. It is very, very hard. It is like being a new seller all over again. And it's okay. I am okay with that journey. I learned an important lesson about my business and about myself. And I had a couple of things in place, but I didn't have enough in place. Because my VAs in India were still trying to work, but they weren't getting new inventory. They weren't getting new information to create listings. Nobody was here to ship anything. So they would send notifications, but nobody's at home to say, hey, these things need to be shipped, especially with the inventory here. So the lesson learned, like, you need to outsource 100% of it, 100%. All your new inventory needs to go to your fulfillment center so that your VAs always have something to do. So anyway, lesson learned. Make sure you put together a business plan. Then the other thing, you do need to decide, what are the business models you want to do in 2022? And make sure you have a strategy for everything. You should have a research strategy documented, sourcing strategy, listing strategy, shipping strategy, documented, customer service and returns. Because when you do that, you can outsource this stuff to somebody else. We're going to talk about that today. Administrative plan. There's a lot of things that fall under administrative plan. So you should have a plan for all this, a traffic strategy and education plan. So an education plan for growth for you. What are the things you need to learn? Or maybe you have your VA learner. Maybe you don't learn them. You have your VA learner so you can incorporate them into your business. Okay. And then we went through some additional questions. So let me go back. Okay. So we talked about goals, which was the next series of questions. I had a bunch of questions around goals and then time management. So my recommendation to you is to definitely go back and just make sure that you've addressed all of these bullets that I have here in your notes. And what is your game plan for these things? That means you're going to sit down for maybe a couple of days in your business so that you can chart a path for your future, put together a roadmap for success. Okay. So you could grab the planner. I'm just going to say it one more time. You can grab the planner and put all of that stuff into the planner. All the stuff I talked about, you can put it into the planner. You can incorporate it into the planner. You can use the planner to map all of this out. It's all in there. Trust me, it is, because I worked on it for a long time. So you can use the planner to help you address everything that you need for growth for 2022. So with that being said, what is growing your business? So growing your business is one that is expanding one or more areas of your business, okay? So growing one area of your business could be, I am going to incorporate print on demand into my business. So I'm going to incorporate private label into my business, okay? There's not a single metric used to measure this growth. Instead, several data points can be used to highlight this growing of the business, okay? So if I incorporate private label, I know that it's going to take, only because I've done the research. First, you got to do the research, but it's going to take a little while for me to start seeing the results of incorporating private label into my life, okay? Same thing with print on demand. It may take me a little bit to be able to measure that. So I want to keep what I've got going on. I refer to that as having the plates in the air. So if you've got 4 plates in the air, you're going to add a new plate, so you'll have 5 plates in the air. But as you're incorporating whatever it is that's new that you're going to start to help you grow your business, just do it gradually. Don't try to overdo it. I would encourage you to do it as a mini goal or a mini habit, so that way is a gradual progression so that you can build up to it. That way you don't significantly increase the amount of stress in your life. Scaling your business means that you're setting up your business to be able to grow beyond what it is right now. And hopefully you don't have to expend more. You're going to spend some money, you're going to spend more time, you're going to spend more resources, but hopefully it's not significantly higher. The ability to grow without being hampered. You want to build the business so that in such a way that you're not going to be hampered. So for me, scaling my business is definitely 100%, not just having part of my inventory at a fulfillment center, but all of it at a fulfillment center. I can't scale my business with me holding on to inventory. I can't. It's not going to happen. So 100% of it has to go to somebody else. And I can take the money that I was spending before and use that to cover the expenses for the fulfillment center. So I may not increase my expenses as much. I will increase some, but I have to trust someone else to handle that. So here are some of the things around growing your business. There's a lot of different ways in which to grow your business. So affiliate marketing is one way. I saw a video today with Amy Weiss, and she's on Amazon Live. And on Amazon Live, she's promoting other people's products. Now, this is a lady who does a whole bunch of private label, but she has found another way, another income source. She is recording a video, taking, I don't know, maybe an hour or 2 hours, probably 2 hours out of her life. 1 hour to record the video, but 1 hour to do the research. Setting up the affiliate links so that way, when people buy stuff through whatever she's promoted, she gets an affiliate commission. I'm like, look at you, girl. Go on with your bad self. I'm not a hater. Go on with your bad self. Establishing your target audience. So target audience, definitely around those that are selling a niche. If you are a person that's selling a niche product is like, okay, maybe you sell socks. And so you sell a variety of different types of socks. And there are people in this world that are sock people in the summertime and in the wintertime. So you have found your sock audience. That is, you're finding your target audience. Encourage repeat business. This is around your customer service. What are the things that you're doing to enhance the customer experience? So sometimes, and depending on the business model that you're in, there's not much you can do to enhance the customer experience. But there are times, depending on your business model or the platform that you sell on, that you can include a little thank you note that is, enhancing the customer experience. So for me, I would send a whole bunch of thank you notes to the fulfillment center, or either when I send the inventory to the fulfillment center, it already has a thank you notes in it, one or the other. But there are little things that you can do. So what are you doing to encourage repeat business? Maybe you include a thank you note that has 10% off on the back side, or sign up for our newsletter, something like that, so that you can get customers to continue to buy from you because they had a great customer experience and you're giving them a discount. Get them on your own personal mailing list if you're trying to get them off of Amazon and onto your own site. Maybe you got a Shopify store. That's another good way to do that. Offer complimentary products and offer upsells or cross sales. complimentary products. So for every single coffee mug that you buy from us, we're going to send you a stir spoon. Or for every single, what was I talking about before? Socks. So every fourth pair of socks, we're going to send you a free pair of socks. Things like that, cross-selling. So people who buy socks may also buy slippers. So I'm going to cross-sell maybe some slippers to them or whatever it happens to be. Market on all stages of the funnel. So if you are selling using funnels, sales funnels, you have a sales page that has a product on it, and you're marketing on all stages. Just make sure that you are selling on every opportunity you get as they step through the process. Work with influencers. So if you are a person that is selling socks, I used socks earlier, so we'll just stick with that. There might be an influencer out there that is all about sleepwear or all about, the getting in bed, the sleep experience. Maybe they are all about everything that's around the sleep experience, the pillow, the sheets, the mattress, the everything else, the so if that is their jam, then that influencer, you may want to work with them to try and promote your socks to them, okay? Or someone else that loves tennis shoes or whatever. Maybe you got socks that are special for tennis shoes and socks that are special for the wintertime and socks that are special for the summertime. So finding the right influencers to help you in this venture. Now, finding influencers is going to cost you a little bit of money. Selling using a funnel may or may not cost you a little bit of money. Offering special offers or cross-selling or complimentary products are going to cost you a little bit of money. Cross-selling may not necessarily cost you a little bit of money, but it is going to cost you a little bit of work, time, money, and resources. Remember, we talked about those. Encouraging repeat business. So you're definitely going to spend a little bit of work to do whatever it is, whether it's putting a postcard in this shipment that includes 10% off or whatever, or add to the newsletter. So you got to set up the newsletter. So this is work. So this is resources. Targeting your audience, figuring that out. That's going to cost you a little bit of time. Affiliate marketing does cost you a little bit of time. So all of these are going to cost you a little bit of something, time, money, or resources, one of the three. Sell internationally or ship globally. Maybe right now you're only selling in the US. Maybe this year you decide, okay, in February, I'm going to start selling into Canada, and I'm going to do that for 6 months. And then in July, I'm going to start selling to Australia. I'm going to sell to the UK. Again, incorporating something new into your business so that you can grow and expand from where you are right now. Become commerce optimized. That's mobile commerce optimized. So there's all kinds of mobile. We already know about like the mobile apps for Facebook and Poshmark and Macari, but there are so many other platforms now. And there's also this whole video marketing kind of thing going on where selling products, not necessarily TikTok, because TikTok is one of those, but because you can sell products on TikTok. But you got Instagram Reels, you've got Facebook Reels, and then you have these other selling platforms where it's like the home shopping network. So again, that is going to take some time. It may take some money and also may take some resources. Personalizing the customer experience, you'll see the customer again. So again, we talked about the customer experience before. Growing your email list, put a flyer in there, put a postcard in there. So when they buy it, encourage them to sign up for your mailing list and then have a process in place to market to them. Use omni-channel marketing. That includes email marketing and marketing on other platforms and channels. So your omni-channel marketing, that's something that you're going to have to work to learn. So that's going to take some of your time. Consider using Google Shopping. A lot of people have not incorporated Google Shopping into their platforms to sell. And so if you're a Shopify seller, you probably are. If you're selling on Bonanza, you probably are using Google Shopping, but some of you have not explored that. And so Google is one of the largest search engines that people use. So that's going to take some of your time, and it may take some of your resources to figure that out. Posting on social media is definitely a big deal. And I have always said, like, even whenever I was doing whatever method of e-commerce I was doing, so retail arbitrage is the one I spent a lot of time early on doing, and using Pinterest listing my items on Pinterest, like you would never believe the sales that you could potentially get from Pinterest, especially when I was selling bundles. So there's some platforms where, you can list your items. Instagram is all about the pictures, all about the pictures. So using social media, it is going to take some of your time. It may take some of your money and resources as well. You may have to hire somebody to do the list, to the posting for you. You got to pull together the pictures. You got to know what the text is going to be. You got to use maybe a scheduling tool, all of that. Publish a blog or newsletter. I mentioned newsletter multiple times. Having a blog that has clickable links back to your product, or maybe back to your website or back to a specific listing all day. And you can use that for affiliate marketing. So then now you're stacking some of these growing techniques, and then ramping up your customer service. I've talked about customer service throughout this whole thing. So just getting better, stronger at your customer service and improving the customer experience is a big deal. So some other things you can try something new. Whatever you're doing right now, like add something new to your game. So if you're doing wholesale, maybe incorporate print on demand. If you're doing drop shipping, try wholesale. If you're doing private label, try white label. Like these are all opportunities. Bundles are also another opportunity. Look, in 2022, the cost of products are going to go up. That's why I say you need to establish a budget. The cost of everything is going to go up. The cost of shipping, the cost of products, all of these things are going up. If you don't have a budget, you're not going to know your numbers. If you don't know your numbers, you won't know when you're losing money. So build a budget before you get started doing anything. So to scale your business, again, things that I can do that'll cost me minimal money. I'm trying not to spend as much money. I'm going to try some of these growing techniques, and maybe you work on a couple of growing techniques. Tackle one or tackle two. Do them for 90 days or 6 months, and then maybe try one scaling technique. That is how you get to where you're like, oh my gosh, my business has grown exponentially. So focusing on maybe one or two growing strategies for 6 months, and then tackling one scaling strategy. So then that way, hopefully you're not spending more money. You should see your numbers improve exponentially just by doing that strategy. So a scaling strategy, or scaling things that you could be doing, you need to do analysis on your business and your business operations. I've been talking this whole time about knowing what you do in your business and documenting it. There are times where you can discover that there's improvements, little bitty tiny improvements to your business here and there, a tweak here and a tweak there, that will make things run more efficiently, that will make things run faster. Maybe you'll be able to take pictures quicker. You may be able to get shipments out faster. You may be able to place orders faster. You maybe find a supplier or service provider that actually ships your stuff out faster. So again, all these little tweaks to your business, this is just taking existing things that you're doing and improving them. It's going to take some of your time. It may not take any of your money, or maybe it does just a little bit. And it may take a resource or two. But you need to look at your business and re-engineer it. So for me, I told you at the beginning of the year, we're reassessing, we're doing a whole new audit of my entire business and all my inventory. So we know without a shadow of a doubt where we stand at the beginning of the year. The goal is to be done with the audit. I have that much inventory to be done with the audit by the end of January. So we can have a meeting the first week in February to talk about what we uncovered in the inventory audit. That is ridiculous that I have that much inventory. But anyway, I do have a lot. I mean, I guess it's a blessing, but anyway. Planning. So this whole thing is about planning. Spend the entire month of January doing some effective planning around your business. Plan for marketing strategies for the holidays. Plan for, so you can do planning now for all of your holidays. Plan for the inventory you need to order for Valentine's Day, for St. Patty's Day, for Mother's Day, for Father's Day, for Easter, for back to school, for Halloween. Like all of those things, start planning now. Put together your game plan, put it on your calendar. Because again, you're building a real work schedule, so you can set up the reminders to remind you to do that, or you can get the eCom planner and do it in there, either one. Because we're going to be doing sessions, remember, every single week, every single month. We're going to literally be planning these things out. Consider improving your marketing game. I personally told you that for me, I'm going to invest the time in the first quarter to get better at Facebook ads and Google ads, Facebook and Instagram and Google ads. And so again, improving my marketing game. I already had time allotted for education. So it is going to take me time to do that. And as I am testing the marketing, it is going to cost me some money, but over time, the reward is going to be on the back end when my marketing is much stronger. So invest in your marketing game. Customer service, we talked about that, and customer retention. What are you doing to retain your customers, getting them to come back, being loyal to you, getting referrals from your customers, improving their customer experience? Think about that. Is there anything that you're doing? Is there anything you could be doing? Are there some changes that you can make that are so minor from a time, money, and resources standpoint but will yield you a great reward? So you need to think about that. You need to collect reviews. So again, improving the customer experience, maybe incentivizing them. If they, first putting the flyer or the postcard in the thing that you're shipping to them, if you're shipping off of eBay, Facebook Marketplace, whatever, and then they give you feedback and you tell them get an additional, 10% off. If you, they receive it and they sign up for your newsletter, you can send them a note that says, hey, you get an additional 10% off of what you just purchased if you'll just, share feedback about this product, or share feedback about my store, or share feedback about whatever. So those reviews can help you, because everywhere these days, there's ratings everywhere. Automation, automating more of your business so that automation goes with the re-engineering. You got to figure out what you're doing in your business so you can streamline those operations. Maybe it doesn't make sense for you to be touching the inventory all the time. Because again, can I grow my business by touching inventory all the time? Well, no, there's only so many hours in a day that you can actually get things done. If you're going to be honest with yourself, be honest with yourself. Now, if your plan is to never outsource and you're okay with the amount of money that you're making right now and the time that you're spending in your business doing the things that you're doing, that's fine too. Some people love that. It keeps them young and keeps them healthy and keeps them fit. I am the one that is sitting on my butt in a chair all day long. I am not boxing up anything, taping up anything, lifting anything. That's probably a bad thing. It wouldn't hurt me to do it. So, I mean, I gotta get my endurance up, but yeah, it wouldn't hurt me to do it. So think about that. Outsource wherever possible so that you can spend the time on other things that are going to make you money in the business. I always love talking to John, who is with my fulfillment team. And he would say, let us do the work so that all you have to do is just source. They would take care of all the shipments. They would take care, like shipments to the customer, shipments to Amazon, whatever it happened to be. I didn't have to touch inventory. I didn't have to put labels on it. I didn't do none of that. Again, outsourcing to a prep and fulfillment center. And then repurpose or rebundle your inventory. So sometimes we have inventory that's not moving. It's not doing anything. It's just sitting there. There are times when we have certain types of inventory that can be used for two purposes. People don't think about that. So maybe there's a whole nother set of keywords that you can be using for that particular product. That this thing is not just I'm trying to think of something that is not necessarily way off in left field. So placemats for your kitchen. So most of the time people think of placemats, you put your food on it. When you have guests, it's decorations for the table, blah, blah, blah. So maybe the placemats become something for, like, I don't know, you convert them into activity mats for the kids to do something on, or, two purposes for socks. Can't think of a second purpose right now for socks, but again, some products actually have multiple purposes or can be used for multiple things. So get creative, check into your creative side, and maybe that inventory can be used for something else, or it can be married together with another simple product and it turns into a bundle and it just starts to move on its own. So instead of tossing the inventory, or instead of just, selling it to another seller or whatever you happen to do, or taking a loss on it, bundle it with something else. I mean, if I've got placemats, I don't know what else I would do with them. So that's probably not a good example, but I'm confident that there are things that you can bundle something simple with it, and then actually make some extra money. A good example would be like if you're selling pencils or colored pencils. Well, maybe you are not selling your colored pencils as fast as you would like to. But if you had a little pencil pouch and maybe an eraser and a whatever those little measuring things are, that whole packet becomes something completely different. And maybe like an architect could use it because it's got all the angles and stuff in it. So those colored pencils are being repurposed for something that potentially an architect could do, because initially they were bought to go with maybe a Crayola set, the coloring books. Just so you guys know, coloring books and coloring pencils, the adult coloring books with the coloring pencils actually do, those are great bundles, and they make a lot of money. I sell them all day long. So again, look at your inventory completely different and see if there's something else you can do with it. Okay. So as we get to this place where we're like, okay, we need to outsource. Outsourcing to a VA. So somebody actually asked me what a VA is, so that you all know what it is. It is a virtual assistant. That is somebody that is working in your business. So in order for you to get started to outsource to a VA, and there's way more than we have time to cover in outsourcing to a VA, a virtual assistant, but here's the highlights. One, you need to document your business processes. This whole time I've been talking about documentation. That's in part of the refocus. And so you've got to document your processes if you want to outsource it. Okay, so you're not doing it anymore. And you can take baby steps. You can use the mini habits or mini goals to be able to create that documentation, but have a deadline that you want to meet. So if one of the things that you're doing is product research, have a goal to say, okay, I'm going to spend the next 2 weeks for 2 hours on Sunday or on Saturday or whatever, writing out my business process for product research. And then at the end of that 2 weeks, you're done with that, and then take on another document that you need to create. So I need to create my next document for shipments. I need to create my next document for whatever it happens to be, creating listings, so that way your VAs know how to run your business. It's not just about creating the documents in step 2 of this process, which is recording your standard operating procedures, which are SOPs. It's also about recording a Loom video. And then what we do is we create a Loom video showing the action. And then there is a complementary document that goes with it. That's a Google Doc that sits in our SOP folder, standard SOP, standard operating procedures folder. And so those two together, you have a written form of it and you have a video showing it, and you have the Google Doc. Those two go together, and now you have documentation. So writing out your business process, document what your business processes are, develop some standard operating procedures so that you can clone yourself. So I want you to imagine with me just for a second. You are currently working 40 hours a week in your business. What would happen to your business if you were working 80 hours a week in your business instead of 40? Like, your business should grow exponentially because you're working more in your business. It should grow automatically. It should grow exponentially if you have your processes documented. A VA is sort of a duplicate or a substitute for you. They are not a one-to-one, trust me, they are not. But what they are is a way to free up your time to focus on things that make you more money in your business. So having a virtual assistant can actually help you. The other thing is, as you're on this journey, after you've documented your processes and recorded your standard operating procedures, you put the documentation together, then you're going to go check to see where you can hire people. So there's 2 different ways in which I consider that you can hire people. You can go with a company that provides a pool of VAs that are available to you. And so everything is done through that company and that company's platform, and everything that happens through there, the liability or the risk, like you may hire the person, but everything is happening on the platform and you pay through the platform, and they monitor and work on your stuff through the platform, blah, blah, blah. That's one way. The other way is independent. So I was lucky. I had a friend who has a family in this country, in India. I've known him for a long time. He's like, my niece needs a job. So I hired his niece, and then his niece had a friend. So I hired her friend, and then her friend had a friend. And so before I knew it, I had like 5 people working for me. So again, building a team, it was a gradual progression. And the great thing about that, as you are building these standard operating procedures, when you start bringing people on, The person that you train to do the stuff and they go through the training, whatever they don't understand, they'll help you tweak your SOPs. They'll help you make adjustments to your videos so that way, if another person has to come on board or you have to replace somebody, you have newer documentation. So replacing someone doesn't become it took me 6 months to get the person up to speed. It's like, it took me maybe 4 weeks or 2 weeks to get the person up to speed. It actually collapses time. And I love that. But decide which way you want to go. Going through some of these services, I've actually used Upwork. I've used Freelancer years ago. I've used Fiverr before. I did have an account with onlinejobs.ph, and I have used FreeUp. So I've used all of these, but right now I'm just doing the independent. I have my own team. I pay them, and we have a process. They sign a non-compete, non-disclosure, and that's how it works for me. But when you decide what you're going to do on these platforms, they'll actually let you, and some of them, not all of them, they'll let you give them work to start so you can decide who you want to hire. So that's part of the test process. So on onlinejobs.ph, I think FreeUp, you can, maybe Freelancer, that you can actually say, look, I'm looking for someone to do XYZ. And so maybe you give them a simple task of, I need you to find 10 products that are selling for a higher price on Amazon that you source from, I don't know, Dollar Tree or Five Below or Big Lots. So maybe you start with Five Below. So it has a higher price on Amazon. It's selling for a higher price on Amazon, and it comes from Five Below. Find me 10 products. So you put that request out there in the universe, and then those people that are applying for your job will try to fulfill that request. So every single person that applies for that job, if all of them only come back, well, the 9 of them, there's 10 people that apply maybe, 9 of them come back with only 10 products. But the 10th person comes back with 30 products. That person is taking initiative, which is what you want. That person is motivated. They want to stand out. So I'm probably going to have a further conversation with them. But again, if you find some people that maybe the 9 people, 2 of them found products that had a great ROI, maybe the ROI was around 30 or 40%. So if they come back and say, well, I found these 10 products and the ROI is this, then these people already know how to calculate ROI, or they understand what it is. So I probably want to have a conversation with them. So now you've narrowed it down to 3 people you want to have a conversation with and 7 people you don't want to talk to at all. Then you can try those 3 people and see which one of the 3 you give them a second test, see which one of the 3 you want to keep, and then hire that person. When you're hiring in through the platform, you have to understand that there is a requirement or obligation you may have. So online jobs.ph, you have to hire that person. You're going to pay them for 13 months or 7 months, because they always get 1 month extra. They get paid for 1 extra month. So it's either 7 months, which means you hire them for 6 months, and then the 7th month you pay for them anyway. Same thing with onlinejobs.ph, 12 months, 13 months. Technically, you pay for 13 months and you get 12 months worth of work. So you have to understand what the requirements are for the platform. So do that research, but understand that and then hire them. And then what I do, whenever I hire someone, I give them a 1-month trial. And then during that 1-month trial, I decide that we're going to do daily touch bases, and we're going to do a daily touch base or a touch base every other day for the first 2 weeks, and then 3 times a week for the second 2 weeks, or something around that. If the person in the first 2 weeks is not working out, we don't even need to finish the trial. We don't even need to go through the month. But if they are working out, then I kind of let them release or lighten up a little bit and just check in with them a couple of times or 3 times a week for the second 2 weeks. And then we kind of have a conversation at the end of the month and say, how do you think you did? You know, here's the challenges I had with you. Here's the things I asked you to do. These are the things you didn't understand. Like, let's talk about them. I don't hold all of that to the end of the month. I try to give them course corrective feedback throughout. And then you got to pay attention to how they receive the feedback. If they're not receiving the feedback good, you probably don't want to spend the next year or 2 years having a back and forth with this person. This may not be a person you want to spend any more time with, okay? You want somebody that is open to changing, making the adjustments, and then over time, they'll share some information with you. So try them for a trial period, then maybe check back in with them at the end of, if they work out after 1 month, then 3 months, check and see how they're doing at the 3-month mark, 6-month mark, whatever. And then at that point, after you get to a point where you feel like it's working out, definitely share your vision with your business, with your, because they're now your business partners, but share your vision with them, because sometimes they can help you grow your business even faster. They may be even more motivated than you realize, because they've got things that they need to take care of for themselves. The income, or what you pay someone in some of the other countries, it is different than what you would pay for a person in the US. Do I have a person in the US? Absolutely, I do. I have an amazing VA that's here in the US. So I technically have 6 VAs, but she only works a few hours because she costs me more, but that's okay. So my team that is in the other countries, they work 40 hours. And I pay them less than what I pay the person who only works a few hours in the US. So the compensation is different, and sometimes you get a lot more work. You get a lot more stuff out of it. So keep all of that in mind as part of your journey, and then decide over time, like, okay, let them be independent, let them own the job, so that you can move on to the next thing. Once you get a person who is really, really good at creating listings for you, then you move on to the next thing that you want them to take on. You do need to figure out what type of person you're getting, whether or not they are a doer, thinker, or they're a specialist. Right now, I have two doers that want me to think that they're thinkers. Doers are people that you just give them a list and they could just do it. Like, here's a stack of files, go put them in a file cabinet. Okay, in alphabetical order. That's it. I don't have to think about it. I just look at the alphabet and put them in the drawer in alphabetical order. Thinkers can go beyond that and say maybe they are prioritizing them by how long that customer's been with you, or different things, different criteria. So they go beyond just the basic, just do this task. They have the ability to be creative. They have the ability to do some amazing stuff. So one of my VAs, I think, is a superhero as far as I'm concerned, because she helped me develop this planner. She got really creative. She started making recommendations and suggestions as she continued to play with the tools. And I was like, oh my gosh, you're a superhero. And then a specialist is a person who is someone that specializes in a specific talent or skill. So I have a separate person that helps me build funnels. That's all they do, because that is a specialized skill. A person that maybe helps you with your Facebook ads or Instagram ads, that is a specialized skill. A person that creates your email marketing or does your marketing videos, that is a specialized skill. So again, figuring out what you need your VA to do. So what are some of the things a VA can do for you? They can create listings, of course, do product research, research private label ideas. Maybe you have an idea and they can go do some more research for you. Do keyword research all day long. Create print-on-demand products. Do customer service. Create websites. One of my VAs can do capture pages. Okay? Something they can do. She learned how to do them in 2 of the tools that I gave them. Fulfill Shopify orders. If you're using Shopify and there is an integration for whoever your supplier is, they can list on other platforms. So again, create listings. And maybe they can do handle email lists. So one of my VAs is responsible for our retail arbitrage, online arbitrage list. She does all of the assessment and emails out the list to those people that are members of eCom Sellers Academy. So again, she does that work, and I make her like double check, and then another person checks it, and then it goes out. So figure out what you think you need done, but the only way you're going to know that is you know what your business processes are. And then as you're doing your assessment of your business processes, figure out where you have potential opportunities. Everyone who is an e-commerce seller is doing a listing activity. One way or the other, you're listing something. Every e-commerce seller is doing a sourcing activity, some type of sourcing related, either as product research or you're actually buying the inventory or whatever. So there's product research activity and there is shipping related activity. Whether you're shipping it yourself or somebody else is shipping it for you, shipping is included in your universe as an e-commerce seller. These are all facts. Product research, sourcing, listing, shipping, all of those hashtag facts. Everybody's doing them. We may all do them differently, but everybody is doing it. Everybody. So figure out what a potential VA can take off your plate. We're also doing We should be doing administrative work, customer service, and all that other stuff, but not everybody is doing that. So anyway, so outsourcing to a fulfillment center, prep center, 3PL, which is third-party logistics, any of the above. That is one of the things that you should consider in 2022, taking off your plate. Again, lesson learned for Nicole. Please don't get sick like I did and just have your business not necessarily go to pot, but just learn the lesson the hard way. It's okay. I learned it. I'm good to go. So make sure that you understand that there are huge benefits to outsourcing to a fulfillment center if you're trying to grow and scale your business. So you're going to spend less time handling inventory, touching inventory, moving inventory, filing inventory, packing inventory, shipping inventory if you move to a fulfillment center. All of the above. You could potentially save on sales tax depending on where your fulfillment center is located. You could potentially save on inbound shipping fees, again, depending on where your fulfillment center is located. You could have faster turnaround. Again, if you are a person that's doing all the work and your grandbabies come and visit you, or your kids have a play today, or somebody's got a test tomorrow, you can't ship tonight. So a fulfillment center is going to keep working regardless. You, on the other hand, have to stop and be a mom or be a dad or whatever. So again, allow a fulfillment center to help you take some of this off your plate. It also will free up living space in your house. So you don't have as much stuff, crap everywhere in your house. And it will also help reduce the stress. It does. I mean, when your house is completely cluttered with inventory, it will make you nuts. I am living in nuts right now. That sounded really bad. I didn't mean to say it that way. But anyway, I just say it. It is crazy right now. So just know, I mean, but we are doing an audit and it's really crazy because everything is everywhere because we're moving stuff and cataloging it and da, 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 da. It's really fun. So anyway, so your location, knowing on your fulfillment center, some things you need to ask or consider: the location of fulfillment center, and then how many fulfillment centers do they have? Like, you know, prep, whether or not they do fulfillment and prep, you need somebody to do prep for you. So think about that. Do you plan on shipping internationally later on? Do you need to be thinking about that as well? So if you're only using a supplier that only has locations in the US versus somebody that is much bigger, so you've got like places like Deliver and ShipBob where they are expansive and they have multiple locations versus a single fulfillment center, you have to think about those things as well. What services do they have available? Again, if you've been doing prep work, you want them to do prep work for you. Maybe you're doing subscription boxes or you plan on doing subscription boxes. Do they have the capacity and the capability to handle that for you? What are they going to charge you? So you need to know about the fees. So you need to ask questions about that. Again, writing out your vision for your business. I need you to see the connection. Writing out the vision for your business will help you make sure that you're asking the right questions when you start talking to a fulfillment center. If you don't have a vision for your business, if you haven't written out your shipping strategy, then you're not going to ask really good questions. And then you're going to be pissed off when you're ready to maybe implement or roll out this new thing. And they're going to tell you, oh, that's going to cost you an additional $5,000 a month. And you're like, what? Wait, pump the brakes, Thanos. I'm not doing that. So if you had asked the questions up front, you wouldn't have to move to another fulfillment center. Think about your decisions that you potentially have to make in your business. So when you look at your business in a year view, when you think about it over a year and you think about it over 3 years, you can make better planning decisions and ask more effective questions up front because you're preparing yourself for growth. When you only think about your business from day to day, that's when you make the mistakes, and mistakes cost you money. When you have to revisit prep centers and fulfillment centers, when you have to revisit some of the decisions you made, you're like, oh man, if I'd have thought that through. Yes, I want you to stop and I want you to think through it before you pull the trigger so you don't have to do it again. So again, write out your vision, write out your strategy, write out your plan, and then go ask the questions. This is where I want to be. So if right now that you're dealing with 500 orders a month, and you get to a place where your vision for your business is 10,000 orders a month, what is that fulfillment center going to say to you when you're there? The promised turnaround, what do they guarantee? I have to deal with sales tax only because we're talking about the US. Sales tax is different, different countries, and you have to be mindful of that. Depending on what software you use, be mindful of that. Supplies, do they charge you extra for supplies? Do they have supplies available? Do they handle pallets? Can they receive pallets? So do they have a loading dock? Got to ask those questions. How long do they keep the invoices on file so you can always go back? What do they file for you? Do packing slips, all of that stuff. Price and applicable discounts. So if you're doing volume, you move from 500 a month to 5,000 a month or 10,000 a month. Are they going to give you a discount when you get to that place? When they have to handle your inventory differently, like maybe you're going to move to whatever you're going to be selling and it has to be shrink wrapped. Like, is that going to cost? How much more is that going to cost you? How long will they keep your inventory? How long will inventory be held for you? So you need to find that out. Hazmat, do they have any limitations? So for the longest time, Deliver wouldn't accept batteries. And it's like, okay, everybody had to be prepared for that. You're going to go with Deliver. Labeling and other requirements for white label or private label. So again, I was talking about subscription boxes and special packaging. Will they be able to handle it? Can they handle your returns? Some of you are international sellers, and so you sell inside the US. How long will they hold your inventory, and will they hold your returns or handle your returns or forward them to you? What accounts do you need to have in order to do business with them? Maybe you don't have to have any accounts. Maybe they have special software that handles everything. Or maybe they say, nope, you need to go establish an account with FedEx and UPS and USPS, and I need you to also create a ShipStation account. Okay, so you need to know that if you're going to do business with them. And then their customer service process. How easy is it to get a hold of them, be able to get answers to your questions? Are they willing to talk to you? Are they just going to send you out to a call center that's nowhere near where your inventory is? That's what we all deal with today when we deal with Amazon. We do not get the warehouse, and it is very annoying. Very, very annoying. So marketing. I talked about a bunch of stuff that you can be doing. This is another thing you can be doing to scale your business. Marketing is going to take time, and it's going to take some resources. It may also take some money depending on how you do it. So if you get really good at keyword research and SEO, then you literally could probably minimize the amount of money that you spend because people are finding your products organically in the search engines on social media. So especially like doing some TikTok and some, having YouTube videos or whatever else. So maximize the use of social media. Be consistent if you're going to do social media. This works really well if you have a niche or you're selling specific products. If you're doing if you're doing retail arbitrage and online arbitrage, unless you're in a niche within retail arbitrage or online arbitrage, then the best thing that you can probably do is you can do a couple of TikToks and you can do some Pinterest. But your Pinterest, you can actually put a clickable link back to your product on several different platforms. TikTok, you can do the same. You can do the same thing on Facebook too, but the impact of finding your audience and then having your audience embrace your product is more visible if you're doing private label, white label, print on demand, that kind of stuff, versus a variety of random products. If you have products in a specific niche, that works out too. So research and test, Google Ads, got to get good at those types of things. Google Ads and Facebook ads. I know that that's my weakness. So that's my Achilles heel. It's not necessarily I can do them. I just want to do them better than I do. Creating shipping listings, Google shipping listings. And I meant that Google shopping, not shipping. It's shopping. So Google shopping listings. So selling through Google shopping is another thing. So I would say that that's a good investment for 2022, especially if you have a niche or you're selling to a specific audience or group. Learning how to do Google shopping can actually yield you more money. And finding your audience. Begin email marketing. I encourage everyone to do that if you have the opportunity and you have niche products. Connect with micro influencers. I've already talked about that. and then study and understand your ad results. One of the things that I don't think people take the opportunity to do is really understand their numbers, whether they be numbers in marketing or whether they be numbers in sales and profits. Sitting down and understanding your numbers either way is important. So I hope all of those things were helpful as far as growing and scaling your business, understanding that some things are going to take time, money, and resources a lot. All of the growing activities is going to take a lot. And the scaling, if you do it right and you have major processes extremely efficient and you've kind of re-engineered them, then when you get to scaling, hopefully your time, money, and resources investment will not be as significant, but it is going to take some money and it's going to take some time and some resources. Just hopefully not as much while you're trying to grow. So growing requires more of an investment of all three. So now we're just going to go through some quick tips, strategies for 2022. One, do not procrastinate on reconciling your accounts, which I've talked about a couple of times. Returns, refunds, reimbursements, and removals. So removals really applies like if you're sending inventory into Amazon and you need to remove it, or removals from listings or platforms. So if you're listing on eBay, you got a whole bunch of good till cancels and you probably need to take some of those down or tweak them so that they can get more views. Because some people don't realize that there's a whole algorithm on eBay that, you may not get as many views if you got it on good till cancel, because there's nothing that's causing the algorithm to show your product more frequently. So keep those things in mind. Consider time blocking. Figure out, or just do a schedule for sure. But consider testing time blocking or testing mini habits or test habit stacking, any of those. But you should build a schedule. You should make sure that you have a calendar of important things that you do every single day in your business, every single week in your business, and every single month in your business. There should be a schedule. You can get the planner. You can put it in there. And you need to focus on the income producing activities that you need to do in your business. That is so important. Know that when you write out all the things that you do, write down whether or not this actual activity, when you complete the activity, does it make you money? Again, we talked about product research and sourcing. Does not make you money until those products are listed. You literally can do product research and do nothing with it. You can do sourcing and do absolutely nothing with it. And you will have wasted those hours and wasted that money. Until you list it, then the activity of listing makes you money. Those are facts. Now, it has the potential to make you money, product research and sourcing. They have the potential, but until you actually do something with the products, you're not making any money. Reinvest your profits in your business. Don't blow it. A lot of people, as soon as they make money out of Q4, they literally start spending that money instead of waiting to reconcile, and also, making sure that they're taking advantage of, compounding. Investing your money back into your business over and over again will compound over time. You could literally, I did a chart once. I showed people like the compound effect of investing $25 every single week for 6 weeks and then stopping the investment and not investing anymore after the 6 weeks and just reinvesting 100% of the profits all the way to the end of the year. How much money you could potentially make if you sourced products that had a 15% or 25%, I think it was 15 or 25% ROI. And that's only if 75% of those products sold, because we know not 100% of everything that we source sells. So 75% of what you source sold, like what that could look like at the end of the year. People could not believe that number. I'm like, yeah, this is not even 100% of your product selling. This is only 75%, 25% are not selling. So reinvest your money back into your business. Reinvest it into inventory, really. That's what I recommend. And then time-saving tools over time, only when you're into profit. If you're not into profit, please don't invest in any tools. You can only invest in tools if your profit covers the expense of the tool. Seriously. Always be sourcing. Source when you go on vacation. Like, you should always be seeing potential products that you can be adding to your business when you're out on vacation, when you're going to the gas station, when you're in restaurants. Like, just the things that you see people wearing, people carrying, people picking up, just sourcing. Even when you go to the grocery store, there's always an opportunity to be sourcing, or at least coming up with product ideas. Always be learning. Don't be stagnant in your business. Consider which platforms you really want to try and take on this year, and allow yourself enough time to really master that platform before you take on something else. So really get good at it. Gradually fold it into your business slowly over time. Don't miss the details when creating listings, your photos, descriptions, dimensions, words. All those things matter. Name your images, name your images, name your images. People do image searches, okay? Start now and be consistent. So I talked about that $25 every single week for 6 weeks and what that could look like over time. It's real, okay? Make data-driven decisions. I cannot stress this enough. The only way you can make data-driven decisions is that you are actually looking at the numbers. You're looking at your data. If you're not paying attention to your data, you're just out there doing the business, and you've never really kind of analyzed the types of decisions you're making and why you're making the decisions, and you get mad. It's like, I spent $2,000 in inventory and nothing sold, because you're not making data-driven decisions. You're not doing the research. You're not doing the things that help you to find products that might sell faster. Do what works for you. So spend your time focusing on that and optimizing it. So if retail arbitrage works for you, invest that time into retail arbitrage. If print on demand works for you, if only working 10 hours a week works for you, do what works for you. Okay. If you're going out and doing retail arbitrage, scan everything for sure. But even if you're not doing retail arbitrage, you might actually find bundle opportunities by scanning things that you were previously wouldn't even look at. So it may actually help you with a private label opportunity, maybe a white label opportunity. It may help you come up with a drop shipping opportunity. So you just never know. That's usually why I said always be sourcing. Saying scan everything goes with that. Be patient. Remember, this is a marathon, not a sprint. You're not running through this business. You're going to make money over time. Practice good customer service. Pay attention to the retailers. They are always telling you what to sell. So in session 1, which is the reset, I said, what's already in the stores? Like, what's already in the stores? Spring is already in the stores. Like, spring stuff is already there. It's already in the stores. And if it's not where you are, it's in the back of the store. So as soon as they hit whatever that threshold is, maybe it's right after Valentine's Day, they put it out, it's already physically in the back of the store. It's physically in the back of every Walmart. It's physically in the back of every Target. And they're just waiting for the Christmas clearance to go away and all the other New Year's clearance stuff to go. So they're going to put it out. It'll be there. So pay attention to their websites. Pay attention to the stuff that you see on their websites. Just pay attention. They're telling you what to sell and what to source. Pay attention to the end caps. That was the thing that I learned the most, was when you walk into the store, look at the end caps first. And then I would, when I didn't have time to source, because I have an autistic son who would just literally run everywhere, I would take my phone and I would record the end caps as I was walking through the store. Then I'd come home and do the product research after he went to sleep. That's how I did it. So there's all kinds of ways to do this business. The other thing is e-commerce all year round. Again, holidays matter, especially if you're going to sell just-in-time products. There are products that you can be selling, and there's always bundle opportunities in that. Sports, national events, like state, monthly events, statewide events, graduation. So graduation is a big one. People buy a lot of stuff around that. People buy stuff around spring break, Mardi Gras. Mardi Gras is coming up. I can't believe that. Super Bowl is coming up. Can't believe that either. All kinds of like sports playoffs and stuff like that. Seasons. Okay, so we are in the winter. We're going to be going into the spring on March the 21st. And so then after March the 21st, you're going to start seeing a bunch of summer stuff. It's just going to happen. Movies, more and more people are going to the movies. And I have made a boatload of money around movies. I would just tell you that. Family-friendly movies. I make bundles around the family-friendly movie stuff. So here's the deal with the movies. This is the observation I've been making for a while now, for about a year, is that because of COVID, all the movie schedules and all the movie releases are all off. And so the movies are, of course, being released way later than they originally planned. But the products for those movies were already like made like over a year to 2 years ago. So an example would be like the movie Gru, the Minions, the little yellow things. I don't know what else you want to call them, but they're Minions and they're yellow. And it's a family-friendly cartoon by, I think it's DreamWorks. I think it is DreamWorks or Imagine something. But anyway, they are, I don't think it's Pixar. Yeah. In any case, they have already made the toys for the Gru movie that's coming out. Gru is the little guy. He's showing him as a kid. And so they've already made the toys. They're already in the store and the movie's coming out in the summer. They don't normally do that. Like they normally time the release of the toys with the movies, but because all the orders for the production of these toys were placed almost 2 years ago, it's too late. So they put them on the shelf. So kids were able to buy, or parents were able to buy Minion related stuff that's going to be hot when the summer hits. Well, those products are already probably either given away for Christmas or whatever. So if you happen to find a bunch of toys that are on clearance, because Walmart's going to go through a clearance here pretty soon for those that are doing retail arbitrage or online arbitrage, they're going to go through a clearance. They always do. And if you see any of those Minion toys, I would grab them, especially if they got them discounted, because you're going to be able to resell them into the fall because the movie's coming out in the summer. Award shows, one of the first things I ever made a bunch of money on was like something that Beyonce was wearing. There was a whole knockoff for it, and same thing with something Rihanna was wearing. This was many years ago. But in any case, it was a big deal and made them. It was like, oh, did you see, I don't know, a pair of sunglasses or a nose ring or whatever it happened to be. And then moments in the news. So there are just random moments in the news that make a lot of splash. What was it? The Chewbacca mom with that crazy, stupid mask for Star Wars. So a bunch of us made a bunch of money for a short period of time, and it was a viral moment in the news, and there was a lot of money to be made. So things like that will make you money. If you want to continue to make money year round, you can sell the products that are just in time, or you can master the art of finding products that are replenishables and consumables, so you have a consistent stream of money all the time. One of the best consumables are the things that I would consider the best way to do that is always selling grocery. Grocery is a great the groceries are a great product to sell. So be able to sell groceries, and you can sell groceries definitely on Amazon. Some of the other platforms will allow you to sell grocery, but that is another one that you have year-round success. So with that being said, I do want to encourage you to build the habit of consistency. Grab my eCom planner. We are going to be doing weekly and daily, weekly, and monthly touch bases. For those people who want to participate, it is optional. It only applies if you have the planner and you are in eCom Sellers Academy. If you don't have the planner and you're in eCom Sellers Academy, you can still do it, but it works out a whole lot better because we're going to be talking about sections in the planner. So in any case, now the floor is open to you. This is your opportunity to ask any questions. We got through this in an hour and 25 minutes. I'm very proud of myself. What questions can I answer for you? Was this information helpful? Are you going to apply this to your business? So please comment and tell me what you're going to apply to your business. What's the first thing you're going to tackle? What's the first thing you're going to do in your business? And tell me what your goal is. Do you already have a goal for 2022? Do you already have plans for 2022? So type that in the chat. I would love to know. I would love to know what your plans are. So for me, for 2022, of course, getting all this stuff out of my house after we finish our audit at the end of January. So you guys are more than welcome to message me to find out if we finished our audit and we did our assessment the first week in February. Yes, I am a planner. Number two, definitely rolling out some more print-on-demand products in 2022 in my business and for eCom sellers. And I am rolling out a private label subscription box 2 of them is what I plan on rolling out. I am selling all of my inventory. Like we're gonna figure out how to creatively sell it on as many platforms as possible, because I am definitely moving to, we're going to do some private label products in 2022. So I have a couple on my hands and a couple of different things that we are planned for 2022, and I'm excited about that. So what are your plans for your business for 2022? Tell me in the chat, what do we got going on? My whys, my budget, my business processes. Yeah, you got to get started on those. They will make a difference. It will help you to grab a VA faster. So I will give you one of my tips on how to get your first VA. I would decide on a month that 100% of your profits, or 2 months, are going to go for a VA. That's what I would do. If you're able to hire a VA in one of the other countries, not in the US, and they can do some work for you, if you can find somebody part-time or full-time. So in India, like, $200 to $400 to pay for a VA, and that's a month. So $200, let's just say hypothetically, I'm just going to throw some numbers. So $200 for 20 hours a week, or $400 for 40 hours a week. So let's just say hypothetically, those are the numbers. Then, so work to get that much in profit for 3 months, because everything is around 3 months for me. 90 days, I found that is the sweet spot. So having that person, having enough money to cover that person for 3 months, that means you need $1,200 in profit if you want them to work full time. You're going to spend the first month of just getting them going while simultaneously running your business. It's going to feel exhausting initially, so it'll feel like you're in Q4. Just going to be, because you still got to run your business and you got to train somebody. But if you have your SOPs in place, you got your processes documented, you got Loom videos, it's going to go a lot smoother, and your new VA can reference that. So getting that first VA going on that first month and investing time in them. And then in month 2, scaling back a little bit. But at that point, you should start getting some more money in. You should start to gradually see maybe a 10 to 15 or 20% increase in your bottom line based on what your VA is doing in that first month. So in month 2, your revenue should go up. That extra percentage that you're getting, that extra 10 or 20%, put that money aside. Put it aside so that you could use it to cover that VA in the 4th month, okay? Then in the 3rd month, your sales and everything, you should start to see from month 2. In month 3, you should start to see all of that work that she or he put in month 2 should yield you closer to a 50% return, or a 50% increase in productivity for you. So you're getting the rewards of that 50% increase in productivity from month 2. You're going to see it in month 3, which means that your sales and your profits are hopefully going to go up if you do things right, if you train them right and everything, so everything goes up. Take that extra money, whether it's 50%, 30%, whatever, and put it aside. So then that way you can pay for them in the 4th month and the 5th month, and just keep putting that extra money, because you start with a baseline. You already knew how much money you're making every month already. So you're going to keep that money coming in, and then anything above that threshold of whatever you were already making, reinvest that into a VA. And then about the 6th month mark, you'll be able to take all of that money and start keeping it for yourself, because the VA is now 100% paying for themselves. They're now 100% paying for themselves. So that is how you gradually bring a VA on. If you don't have to be stressed out about money to pay for the VA, when you put that money aside for 3 months worth of salary, then you don't have to stress about the VA for the first 3 months. And that is one of the easiest, like that was how I was able to bring on my first VA, because I needed to make sure I had enough money to pay for her for 3 months. And if I had enough money to pay for her for 3 months, I didn't have to stress out while I was trying to bring her on board and help her get used to her job and be consistent in her job and do the right thing in her job. And then when I started to see the rewards and the benefits of her doing her job right, I was like, oh, okay, all right. So I started to increase. I went from me working 40 hours a week to now in my business, I'm working 60 hours a week. Then I eventually get to 80 hours a week, not me working, but because there's 2 of us now. It's like, okay, now I'm getting 80 hours worth of productivity in my business, or 60, you could do gradual progression, like 10 and 20, whatever. So I was seeing a nice progression in my business productivity. So I said, okay, now I need to take every extra dollar that's above whatever the threshold is. So maybe the threshold was $2,000. So if I made $3,000, I take that extra $1,000 and put it aside to cover the VA. And then I just kept doing that and kept doing that. Then I had enough money to cover the VA for a whole year, and I didn't have to think about it. So then we can really do a whole bunch of stuff, like a whole bunch of stuff. Did you give them your passwords to your tools and your accounts? I did, but I did it a little differently. So I connected my, sorry, there was probably some other questions up here. Sorry, let me scroll up real quick. So JJ is like, okay, my budget, business process, definitely work on that. I need to finish the inside of the new garage to get the rest of the stuff out of the house and a storage unit. Yes, go Lulu girl. Yes. Order a planner. Yes. And create a budget and start selling off existing inventory. Yes. And study my ecom planning sessions. Yes, you need to go back. That's definitely high five. So did I give my VAs access to my accounts? Yes, I gave one VA access to my accounts. But what I did was I have accounts with List Perfectly and eCom Dash, which I'm moving. We created an account with Listing Mirror. We're still working through some things with Listing Mirror, but we're going to transition from eCom Dash to Listing Mirror. So you give them access to the tool so that way they can work in the tool, and you train them in the tool and they resolve issues in the tool. But I do have one VA who has direct access to, I created an admin account for my Amazon, and I created a admin account for my other account. But the other ones, she uses a listing tool to get into my stuff. So that's the answer, yes. But the other VAs, like, they don't have to have access to my account. To do product research, you don't need access to my account. To do keyword research, you don't need access to my account. To find profitable products for me to sell, you don't need access to my account. So all of the things, like a lot of the things I had them do were things that had nothing to do with accessing my accounts. And so that makes it easier for you to, like, when they're giving you profitable products, all you have to do is source at that point. If they're giving you a list of profitable products, you don't have to do anything else but source. Verify the list and source. That saves the amount of time I would have spent doing that. They just did the work for me and I don't have to do it. So I love that. I love it. I love it. I love it. And, you can give them stuff like renaming the image files, cleaning up the backgrounds on pictures, finding better pictures on the internet for you to use. One of the girls is really good at creating graphics for me. So that kind of stuff. One of them likes to do product research to find out what the best sales price might be for stuff. I'm like, go at it. Go for it all day. I'll let you do it. I don't have to think about it because you're doing the work for me. So what other questions can I answer for you? I really do hope you all actually, really take a deep dive and take a good look at your business and start setting it up. If you have a vision for your business in 3 years, 5 years, 7 years, or 10 years, if you do have a vision, set it up now. And then every year, sit back and kind of review your plan. Say, I see where I came from. It's beautiful to watch your business grow. It's like, watching little kids grow up. It really is. I mean, I can remember when my boys were 1 and 2 and 3, and even though I didn't have a lot of good sleep, which is like running a business, I had sleepless nights. I was up late. I was always having to deal with something or do something. Seeing where they are now, it's like, wow, like, you've done a lot. They've come a long way. And you're going to say the same thing about your business. Like, you've done a lot. Your business has come a long way. So nobody gets to $1 million or whatever overnight. It is a gradual progression over time. There are some people that are instant millionaires. I still, again, don't always believe that stuff. So what questions can I answer? Was this session helpful? Was it valuable? Would you recommend it to other people? Would you recommend people go through this exercise in their business every year? Or you say, nope, this is a waste of time. We shouldn't be doing this. Let me know, let me know, let me know. Or are you all writing? She said extremely valuable, highly recommended. Yes. Well, you'll get the replay, and I hope you go back and you use it. And I am so grateful for each one of you. And I hope that this changes your business for 2022. I hope that you see just amazing results because you have consistency in your business now. So I am wishing much success. If you have any questions whatsoever, one, I would encourage you to join eCom Sellers Academy. I'm just going to tell you, you can still get it you can give her 50% off if you want to, 50%, 25% off. So definitely you can join eCom Sellers Academy at 25% off. And then that way you can be part of the weekly touch bases. If you're one of those people who are like, I do really good with an accountability partner. I do really good when somebody forces me to think about, oh yeah, I probably should be thinking about sourcing that. Like, oh, I got that because I went and I joined the sessions for the accountability partner. But if you're already a member of eCom, that's for the lifetime, 25% off of the lifetime, because all the 50% off are gone. Like we ended that yesterday. So go ahead and encourage somebody else to join, and let's all be accountability partners. Yes, I would recommend this training and re-listening to it as well for sure. I'm glad. High five. I'm so glad. So let's all, I hope that I see you all on the 21st as I do the announcements next week for the accountability. If you are part of Academy, then you'll see the announcement. Even if you're not, I'll encourage you to join. But I am looking forward to the daily and the weekly quick touch bases. And so we can all write in our journals what we're going to do this week and how did we do today and what are we going to plan for this month, so that you can go, yeah, my sales went up exponentially because I got consistent in my business. So I look forward to it. And with that being said, I'm going to say goodbye for now. I've got to go check on these big boys, and God bless you all. Happy New Year.